Good evening, beautiful people. Welcome back to Spill the Tea, Lou. My name is Lou. As you can see, Ash has not joined me just yet. I think he's got lost on the way to the channel. And to be fair, I'm not normally on time. Normally he's waiting for me. So I think it's only fair we do it the other way around. I was just making myself a lovely little cup of tea. I don't know about you guys. See, when I have my dinner in the evenings, when I finish my dinner, I absolutely must have a cup of tea. And if I don't have a cup of tea, I feel like it just caps off my meal. If I don't have my cup of tea, then I can't, like, my meal isn't actually complete. So I don't know how I feel about that, but I have my cup of tea here. When Ash comes along, I'm going to drink it. But in the meantime, lads, yous are stuck with little old me. Please do smash a like on the video as you join. Nice to see everybody in the house. I see Guess is here with her teapot. Gab is here. Rob is here. And of course, our lovely Mama Flossie is here. Welcome, 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 everybody. Thank you very much for joining me. As you can see from the thumbnail, I am going to be talking about the lovely, lovely goal that we saw at the end of all the matches yesterday, because I think that was actually the last match that was still being played. I might be wrong on that, but I'm sure somebody will let me know if I am. And yeah, we're going to get a look at that. It was such a good one. Such a good one. Really, really enjoyable. And you know what? It is what football's all about. If you are not a Real Madrid fan, our Guess supports Real Madrid. So a moment of silence for Guess, because it was a tough day for Guess. One of her teams isn't in Europe at all, and her other team is not doing the May West and certainly not hitting the heights that they would be expected to hit. Sorry, Guess. my bad. Yes. Is a day without tea even a day? I would suggest not. Now, what we'll do, let me have a little look here. I want to pull some bits up for you. Bear with me a moment. Sorry, folks. You know yourself. Here he is. Here is the man of the moment. And he's wearing green. Wearing green. In Ireland. I love it when you wear green, Ash, because genuinely, it's like green, white, and orange. You literally look like a flag. I love it. Every time you come to my show, you should wear green. It's your best colour. It's
just because it's reminds you of Ireland.
That's it. Bit of patriotism there. I see what you're doing. Don't pretend you didn't realise that you were dressed as the Irish flag. Come on, I know you do this on purpose to show support for the channel.
I mean, with my hair colour, I must have something either Scottish or...
Oh, you definitely have some ancestors somewhere along the way. Because I mean, even obviously my hair is not naturally purple. Shock horror. I bet nobody realised that before. But oh, Gav, evening again, Gav. Well, I already said evening to you, so you're in the bin. Also, it's really weird for me because obviously I spend a lot of time on the United Stand. I'm not always chatting because I'm supposed to be at work working, but I'm always watching. And every time I see Gav, he's blue. So when I see him on my channel and he's not blue, I'm like, it's really weird. I feel like he's the wrong color. The problem is, if I gave everyone that I know that's a mod on my channel, there would only be mods. There wouldn't actually be any other chatters. Everyone would just be a mod. So we're not big enough for that carrying on just yet. But it really freaks me out every time I see Gav and he's not blue. Throws me off completely. But yes, you have to have some sort of Irish, Scottish ancestry somewhere.
Well, obviously, because I was born in Newcastle, and I know my mum lived in Scotland for a bit, but they weren't born up there. They just went to live there for a bit. But I mean, obviously, Newcastle is right next to Scotland, so I don't know if that has a...
I reckon there's a bit of it somewhere along the line. I'd love to do one of those, do you know those ancestry? I would love to do that. Well, see, my mum's dad, it was adopted. So we don't, and what became his surname obviously wasn't his original surname. So they've tried looking for him, but it's
I always find it funny where you've got like a friend or something, and it's got like 12% Ethiopian or something, and it's just so left field. It's like, where's that come from?
Yeah. But I would love to know. I would love to know.
I'll do it one day and let you know when I'm like...
Oh my God, we could just do a whole stream on Ash's ancestry. Guaranteed it's Irish, 100%.
It would be like 10% Danish, 15% Kenyan. Who knows? I'll just be a bit all over the world.
I reckon I was a Viking. Definitely.
I actually hope... I would love more than anything for me to have some sort of African heritage somewhere down the line because I just want to rep one of the AFCON teams because I just love AFCON.
Well, my thing is, my name, so obviously my name is Louise, but my name in Irish is Leisha. And so...
Ooh, that sounds very aggressive.
Well, it translates as woman warrior.
Okay,
So,
that would be why it sounds aggressive.
What I'm going to do for the people of the chat, I'm going to write my name as it is in Irish. So this is not an English word. This is an Irish word. Irish is not the same language as English. So I'm just going to let you know the phonetics are different, people. Don't have a heart attack. It's an Irish word. So in the chat, we are going to talk about football, by the way, just to let people know that are joining for football conversation. We are, in fact, going to speak about football, but obviously it's live with Lou and Ash. And let's be fair, we never just go linear. So if you're new here, this is kind of what you can expect. But there we go. It's loading into the chat, apparently. So you should now be able to see that is how you spell my name, and it's pronounced Leisha.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Siobhan, you know, where it's like SIOB. Like that, the first time I saw that, I was like, oh, was it, oh my God, what's the other one? It's like NI something. It's another word like that.
Neve.
Neve, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, because in the Irish language, we don't have the letter V. The letter V doesn't exist. So BH can be pronounced as V or W, and MH can be pronounced as V. So that's why we don't have the letter V. So we make that using other letters. But like every language that uses that alphabet, the phonetics aren't the same as English. Like you don't go Peter, you call him Pierre. Do you know what I mean? Because it's French. The phonetics are different. You don't call him a peer. Do you know what I mean? The phonetics are different. I don't know why people assume the phonetics in Irish would be the same as English when it's a completely different language. Like in Portuguese uses the same letters as English, but it's a different language. You don't pronounce it the same. Like, see the name Hugo, Hugo in English. If you pronounce that using Portuguese phonetics, it's Ugo. Because that's what those letters sound like. Yeah, that's the sound I made the first time I heard it. But, like, it's not going to look how you expect it because you're not spelling an English word using English phonetics. You're spelling an Irish word using Irish phonetics. So it's like people don't understand that Irish is it's a whole language. Like, we do have our own language.
It is surprising.
It's incredible. But people don't seem to struggle with that in, like, other languages, right? So in Spanish, they have that dish and it's called paella because that's how they pronounce it. But in English, it's paella.
Paella.
If you pronounce it phonetically in English, paella. But you don't say it like that because it's paella because it's a different bloody language. It's the same for Irish. It's a different language. Therefore, you pronounce it differently.
I like paella.
Paella is nice.
I'm a big fan. I actually had some when I was in Spain. I actually had some when I was in Spain.
You had Spanish paella when you were in Spain? It's incredible.
I mean, it was like was it Gran Canaria? Because it's actually a Spanish island, which makes zero sense because it's off the coast of Africa. It's next to West Sahara, which like you've got to go past Portugal and Africa to get to it, and then it's a Spanish island. It's like we've got an English island. Like, it makes zero sense.
No harm. I don't think English people are qualified to talk about only regions that don't live near their country. I think maybe that's a can of worms we should leave closed. Maybe you should stay out of what the Spaniards did. You have a leg to stand on. But do you want to hear a joke? A good joke, and then we'll talk about the football. Knock, knock.
Who's there, Lou?
Siobhan.
Siobhan who?
Siobhan, your knickers, your ma's coming home. It's a good joke, but Siobhan's a real name here. We used to tell that to each other at school. It's a great joke. Sorry, some things you just don't grow out of. I think it's a good joke.
Us English people didn't do that.
Yeah, but you don't have people called Siobhan. Siobhan. Siobhan, Ash.
I work with someone called Siobhan.
Yeah, well, don't tell her to put her knickers on. You might get in trouble. Anyway, Kate is here. Kate popped in to say hello and smash a like, and I hope lovely Kate is going to feel better soon.
She's not feeling well.
Let's see. No, she's not feeling too well. But Ash, do you know who is feeling well? Jose Mourinho. He's feeling absolutely fantastic. I would suggest the ball boy.
Yeah. I bet the keeper's feeling even better. I know. I can't believe he celebrated with a ball boy. That was actually so funny.
You know what? That was so cute because that wee ball boy is literally going to remember that for the whole entire rest of his life. So, like,
Mourinho and ball boys never change.
I know, but I just think it's lovely. I think it's lovely. It's really, really sweet. But Ash, I know you were a little bit annoyed watching the Newcastle match last night. Now, just please don't say anything that might get me a solicitor's letter. So try and express yourself without getting me in trouble. But what I'll do, because we're going to talk, we're kind of, I have even less of a plan than usual for this show. Do you know the way some shows now I have plans? This one I don't. No plan at all.
Yeah,
I don't think we need one.
I'm about to say, I don't think you necessarily need one when it comes down to the end of the Champions League fixtures. You've got the Premier League coming back. There's a lot of stuff.
Well, that's where I'm at. I reckon we go through the Champions League and then we'll look at the Premier League. And I mean, that's probably going to take about 3 hours knowing me and you, because let's face it, we are 11 minutes into the show and we haven't mentioned any football. We've talked about Siobhan, Niamh, and that I'm a woman warrior. And your Irish heritage, obviously.
Somewhere in me.
Flossie would like to let us know Dave Boy is out in the North Sea with no pubs around. I was actually starting to get concerned about Dave Boy. We haven't seen him in about 5 streams. Was he here last week? I don't even think he was here for last week's predictions either.
I don't think he was.
Send out a search party. I haven't seen him in about a week. I'm a wee bit worried about Dave Boy. Dave Boy, if you're safe, let us know. Do you know what it is? It's because he changed his name to that stupid name thinking nobody would know who he was. Yeah. Flossie sniffed him out in 5 minutes flat and we haven't seen him since. Oh no, Flossie was saying he was acting Mackham last week for the predictions. Gav has spent his week. Oh, I keep forgetting I can put them up on my... Reggie, that's what it was. Reggie Labrie. So maybe he's just waiting until he can change his name back.
I'll tell you what, Lou.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get Spills to do a prediction again since he got it.
He got it right.
Yeah, it's just a...
He's been on fire doing it wrong. Maybe that's what's been going wrong. Maybe we are the secret piece of magic. Streets is going to come in, predict another United win, and it's just going to happen.
Oh, no, it's just good. It's annoying me because he keeps on predicting us to lose. I swear to God, and that's what keeps on like or draw or something. He's putting a curse on us as well.
No, Flossie is telling us Dave Boy is alive and well. They had a chat on Ash's video earlier. He's just in the middle of the North Sea. He can't get to a pub. He's stressing out. He needs to sleep at night. He's not coping very well. That's okay. Once we know he's all right, because we were a wee bit worried about him. But
that's a very good point. I didn't even see that. I've been busy.
Ash, you have to appreciate your people. Although apparently I wasn't appreciating him since he's done it or not. Maybe I do. I think he's just had enough of these predictions. Right, let's see. Champions League. Let's go, Ash. Start with your club. We never start with Newcastle, so let's start with Newcastle. Okay. Get it all off your chest, because then we can enjoy the rest of the show, because I know you were struggling.
I'm convinced the first half, this referee got a fat payday, because the first half and the second half, his refereeing was completely different. I have never in my life seen a player handball the ball onto another player's hand and they get a penalty. If you score and there's an accidentally handball in the build-up, you roll it off. Do you know what? I'm going to say forward. When we play, if we play Carry a Bag or Monaco in the round of 16, I hope Dan Bird picks up the ball and throws it at one of their players' hands and just get a penalty for it. Because clearly that's what's allowed nowadays. Utter pile of bullshit that was. Actually pissed me off. Nick Pope saved it. Thank God. Flipping saved my flipping evening. That did.
It was very good too. Like really well done.
Yeah, Nick Pope. It was a great penalty and stuff, and he actually played very well. I actually quite like the tactics we were doing. I don't know if you noticed, but when the ball kind of came back to him, instead of him you often see quite a lot of keepers, they try and boot it quite like low and far. He was doing a lot of looping balls because PSG was just standing back and just going for the second ball because of how much of an aerial threat we had. And
yeah, yous were a lot better in the air. I almost felt
Yeah.
like it got to a point where they were like, just let them Newcastle get it first, and we'll try for the second ball because we can't get the
Yeah.
first one; it's too high.
yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, it's not a bad way to approach it if they know they're never going to win the first ball, just to go for the second ball for where the bounce is, because then they'll
Yeah.
have an extra player. But it was really weird to see, and it obviously was going to bite them in the ass, and that's how we ended up scoring our goal, was from a set piece and headers. So yeah, and then I've never in my life seen a player get fouled and they get a yellow card. That has got to go down in the
That
history
was
books.
wild. That
Like,
one was really wild. I have to say, I saw that one and I was like, what? Even like it got to the point where the commentators on like the channel I was watching, the commentators were like, it's
Was it like Steve
really
McManaman?
bizarre.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I don't know who it was. It was
He's Steve McManaman's Scottish. So
yes, it was him. It was definitely him.
Yeah, I know, because
He kept saying, he was like, it's really bizarre. This is very bizarre. And you could tell he was trying not to say anything that would get him in trouble, because obviously the referees are a little bit sensitive about when you say things, and they like to send out letters. So you could tell he was trying not to get himself in trouble, but you could hear it in his voice. He was like, it's really bizarre. Very bizarre. And then like 5 minutes later again, he was like, it's very bizarre, you know?
Yeah, it was. I mean, the whole thing about this game was just so weird to me, because like you would have the likes of Willock was in. He did a shoulder on shoulder, like a shoulder barge.
Yeah.
And they got a free kick for that. And like there was no. It just the ref took all physicality, anything out of the game. There was a part where the ball actually hit. I think it was their number 5's arm. I can't remember who it was. It hit their arm like at the back when he was like doing this behind Dan Burn.
Who's their number 5? What have I?
He's at the right of their centre back.
Marquinhos.
That's it. So it hit his elbow here, with his arm was out here. Like it went over Nick Voltemada and hit his arm here in their box. VAR checked it for half a second and said no. For me, none of them are penalties. But the issue is, if you give one of them as a penalty, then you've got to be consistent and give them all as penalties. So,
and you know what made me laugh, Ash? Because you're talking there about consistency, and that's the commentator was saying that about the consistency, and it actually really gave me a giggle, because often we give out about our referees in the Premier League, and rightfully so, because I think they're drastically incompetent. But what we often say about the referees in Europe is, well, they're a lot softer, but at least they're consistent. At least you know what the rule is. And I was watching the match and I was like, so not only are they soft, now they're also becoming inconsistent. So they're going out on all fronts now. And I did just sort of think, it was the only thing they had going for them was the consistency, and they put it all in the bin in one match.
Yeah, it absolutely annoyed me to another level, because it was the last time we played them. Obviously, it was like the 97th minute. There was 8 minutes of injury time. And then we had a handball against us at Tino Livramento that was like the biggest, like it came off his body and hit the side of his arm here. It's like, there's no way that should have been a penalty. And then 5 minutes into the next time we play them at Paris Saint-Germain, the same thing basically happens. And it's like, we just knew it was going to be a bad game. I was very impressed with Dan Burn, actually. He played the full 90 minutes, got man of the match. Obviously, this is his first time actually on the pitch since he's had that punctured lung, which was actually very much surprised me, to be fair. I thought he might have played a bit worse.
He was very good, Ash. He really was good.
What the one thing that I guess I noticed, that I know Gordon has mentioned this in his interviews, that the reason why we can score more and we're a bit more expansive and we look better in European football is just European teams quite often sit back and like they try to play a bit more tiki-taka football, like they try and look a bit more skillful. And I guess it made our players look a lot better. Like Jacob Ramsey looked absolutely amazing. Joe Willock looked like when we had him on loan 4 or 5 years ago. I know, I was very, very impressed. Which, like I said, the lineup, I if you ask any single Newcastle fan, everyone would have shit themselves when they saw that lineup, because that was not what anyone thought.
There's one standout red rating on the pitch there for Anthony Elanga.
But the worst thing is, he's only got that red because he got the yellow card, which he shouldn't have had it.
Yeah,
because yellow cards brings down ratings. It's stupid. But even then, I thought Elanga actually had a very good first half because he was always kind of the outlet that we had. Like he was running in behind everyone. But yeah, I'm not going to complain. 3 games at PSG in our Champions League history now, and we've never lost to PSG.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah.
And Ash, see this. Now, obviously, this is sort of, subjective a little bit. But if you were to look literally just at this, it basically looks like the entire match was all PSG and Newcastle had a little belt towards the end there. Do you feel like that's accurate?
Obviously, it's the style of play that we were doing. They had all the possession.
Okay.
And then we just kind of sat 10 people behind the ball. We were defensively resolute, and then you could see what our idea was, that we would have had Elanga or Willock or like one of our wingers to be on the break. Voldemort holds the ball up at halfway line, and then those two run past. That was kind of the idea. And obviously, like you'll even look on stats. They had 25 shots, 3 big chances. One of them was obviously the big chance was the penalty.
Yeah.
So we had the same big chances in the whole game. It's
and I was saying that recently on a match reaction. I was saying you can have all the possession in the world, but see if you're going side to side to side to side to back to side, it means absolutely nothing. You have to be doing something with it. It doesn't matter how much possession you have; it's how effective that possession is. And I think this match is probably another good example of that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that another thing I was really impressed about was PSG. That's like literally like their strongest team. Like. Whereas like we had so many of our main players out injured. The keeper, I swear to God, I was actually screaming at my TV, just shooting in from anywhere because what the hell was he doing in that game? Like, bro came out for like a cross. Like I think it was even Steve McManaman said about it, call him Superman or something. He just came running out to the penalty area for no reason, didn't even get the ball. Like this guy was absolutely on one. But to be fair, he did save them at the end. Harvey Barnes probably should have scored.
Should have. Absolutely should have.
Yeah.
I thought he would have. Do you know, if you told me it was Harvey Barnes, I probably would have said, oh yeah, he'll probably get it. Do you know what I mean? It surprised me that of the player to miss, it was him, because I thought he should have scored.
Well, to be fair, I thought they should have started. I was quite, that was like, I was very surprised that they weren't. Like, in all of the lead up, like the pre-match conference and everything, like Eddie Howe and everything had Gordon speaking as well with him. So it's like, you would have thought, if Gordon's talking all this, he's going to be on the pitch, and he just wasn't. So
it's funny that sometimes I think they throw you sometimes on purpose. I know our manager's definitely doing it. But let's take a look at some of the other matches. We'll primarily look at the Premier League teams. So Arsenal, craic. Now, what I will say is before this match was played, I wouldn't have predicted 3-2. Put it that way. And
not the Emirates. Not the Emirates. Wow, bloody hell. That's even worse than our one.
I've never seen one that bad before.
That's actually worse than our one. That's impressive.
But this team scored 2 goals. Now, one of them's a penalty.
That's crazy.
But that's crazy. And I did notice, again, it's another penalty. So there was a penalty in your match, a penalty in this match. There was a few matches with penalties. So they're obviously more prone to giving them in Europe. But I mean...
just not to give us one, apparently.
Yeah, not you. Everyone else, but not you. But I just thought, as much as obviously Arsenal have won, that's all that matters, really. But I definitely wouldn't have thought 3-2. Definitely not.
No, that is a surprise one to me. It's one of those things, isn't it? It's like, would you expect Arsenal to be trying his hardest when they know they're going to be finishing in the top 8? They're guaranteed the spot. They were already seven wins, no losses, no draws.
Which is all fair, but look at the team that started. It's not as if they started like kind of a second string team, other than Kai Havertz, who actually was the top player. Do you know what I mean? For the most part, like that's Joke's their starting striker. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean potentially all their backline is probably not their starting one.
Calafiori's just back from injury. So I'll give him that, because he's actually been very good for them this season, but he's only back from injury for this match. So I would suggest maybe he's not all the way fit. But I mean, it's not I wouldn't call that a not strong lineup. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no, the midfield and forward is their first choice team. So yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of Arsenal fans, because obviously I didn't really watch the game with Newcastle being on, but I heard a lot of Arsenal fans saying Kai Havertz in the 10 role looks really, really good.
Well, there he is, there, player of the match.
Yeah, I've heard.
Assist, like.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting, because I've always said that he will. I've always said that I thought Kai Havertz would just be slotting in instead of Gyökeres again, and he would have took over that role, because it looks like he kind of fits that role. But if they can manage to get them both in, but it means Odegaard's not going to be able to play. So yeah, they got a lot.
To be fair, given that Odegaard was hooked in our match at like 55 minutes, and I find that Arsenal fan base are very split on him, very, very split on Odegaard. And like, when you think, not that long ago, he was being compared to Bruno, like our Bruno Fernandes. Like he couldn't lace his boots. It's so, I don't know, other than the fact that he's their captain, there's no reason to try and squeeze Odegaard in when he's underperforming. He's not particularly, like, if you ask 10 Arsenal fans, what do you think of Martin Odegaard? They're probably all going to give you different answers.
Yeah, so, there's a lot of rumours about him going to be leaving actually in summer.
Do you know, it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I'd be curious to see who they would then give the captaincy to. That'll be a talking point.
You'd
very
think,
interesting.
You'd think probably Declan Rice, I would like to say, or Gabriel.
You would imagine Declan Rice.
Yeah, for me, it would either be Declan Rice or Gabriel would be the next two.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Do you think there's anything, Flossie? I see Flossie is saying Rice there as well in the chat, so he's the one that springs to mind. But do you think, because if you look at their Premier League form, it was draw, loss, and then they've gone in to play against craic, and they've managed to score 2 goals against them. They won, but I mean, it wasn't, and at one point the match was 1-1. So I've seen all the memes today, or not all the memes, all of the posts today, all of the images about, perfect Arsenal. They've won all their games, they're the first team to do it, etc., which is very good. I certainly wouldn't take away from that. I mean, they've won them fair and square. But if you just look at their actual run of form, draw, loss, struggled to win, where drawing 1-1 against a team you would expect them to absolutely smash. Do you think it's a momentum thing?
Yeah, possibly. It's I've said this quite a bit, that Arsenal have always been struggling a bit more with like open play goals, which they have, as you can see from basically all their outfield attackers. They've all kind of struggled, but it doesn't surprise me that they struggled a bit harder. Granted, I wouldn't have expected a 3-2. That is a big surprise to me, especially like craic. But is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, upsets in Champions League keeps on happening. Like obviously Bodo Glint, you've just had Real Madrid lose 4-2.
Yeah.
There's
that's true.
Upsets happen quite a bit in this competition.
Well, I'll be interested now. I'll be bearing this in mind when we go to make our predictions on Arsenal later. I'll be remembering this. This is logged. But I saw a good comment here. Where did it go? Flossie was saying about Odegaard, I've never known a captain get subbed as much as him. And it's right. It's just like Bruno, as much as he does my head in, he's never dropped. He's never subbed. He's always on the pitch. And it is, for the most part, what you expect from a captain. It's really odd, but what you're saying there, the rumours about him going, wouldn't surprise me at all. In fact, I think I'd be more surprised if he just stayed, if I'm being brutal about it. Let's go down. We're going to come back to this. We'll do this one last. We'll do the Premier League ones first. So, Spurs and Frankfurt. Now, Spurs had 14 players unavailable going into this match, either ineligible or injured. There was 14 players out. They had 3 hamstring injuries. Romero's out for, not Romero. Was it Romero? Richarlison? 4 weeks. There's loads of them. There's a whole list of them. Yeah, for 4 weeks. But there's a heap of them. I went through this on yesterday's live. I did a live before just to go through it. 14 players that they were missing. And they were all senior players, or weren't like, kids or, they were all senior players that were missing. Obviously, Frank's under severe pressure. The only thing is, Frankfurt were way down the bottom of the table. They clearly were not performing well. And you're going into it thinking, maybe a 1-0. Surely Tottenham can drag this over the line. And they did, but it took them a little while because 47 minutes, there was 0-0 at half time. 47 minutes in before they actually managed to score. And then obviously in the end, they won 2-0. But I mean, the momentum, if you look at it, appears to have all been Spurs' way for the most part, other than just after the Spurs.
After the goal, yeah. God,
yeah, so Spurs scored, and then Frankfurt were like, oh, really?
Do you know, that is the one thing that I hate, especially if my team, and I imagine you're the same, like after you score a goal that you just like, they just like give up. And
I do it all the time.
Yeah, I know. We've been doing it so much this season. And it's really frustrating to see. So I guess Spurs is quite lucky that they probably didn't concede after that.
Yeah, because if you go 1-1 here, you don't. All bets are off.
Yeah, and then Frankfurt's probably they're at home. They've got the goal, the most recent goal. That they're probably looking to be the ones to try and win that. But hey, Spurs finished 4th in the stage.
Yes,
which is crazy.
Bananas. That was going to be the other thing I was going to ask you about. Now, folks, just so you know, I know the Europa League has kicked off. I do have the scores on my other screen. I have Aston Villa here. Is there anyone else that I should be keeping?
Forest.
Forest. Oh, I see. Hold on. I'll do a wee star so I don't lose them. Forest. So obviously Everton at the minute, they've literally just kicked off. So Everton at the minute is still 0-0. Let me know just through the remind me, Ash, through as we're talking, to kind of come back in and check the scores. Obviously, lads, if you see it before we do, put it in the chat if somebody scores, and I will read the scores out. But at the minute, everything is 0-0. So just because otherwise I will forget, Ash. Sorry, I keep banging my chair into my actual computer. So I have the computer under the desk here, and I try to tuck the chair in, and every time I try and tuck the chair in, I hit it with the computer. Sorry. First world problems. I can't even move a chair. Jojo is in the house. Jojo is saying Nottingham is going out. Who are they actually playing? Ferencváros. Okay. That could be interesting. Villa are playing Salzburg.
I don't think points wise, mathematically, I don't think it's possible for them to go out. I think they're 100% through to knockout stages at least.
Right. Let me pull this just because we're already on it. Let me pull this up. So this is the Europa League. This is the current standings. And we are looking for, who are we looking for? Forest is 16th. So yeah.
They're on 12 points and 25 is on 8 points. That's 4-point difference. Yeah. So they mathematically can't go down.
Yeah, they can't go out. It's literally impossible for them to go out. They could finish at the bottom of the stair-inners, but no, sure they can't. Sure they can't lose points. I'm minusing points off them for a loss. Wouldn't that be fun? Only if you get 0-0, we take all your points off you. But if Celtic win, they could go to 12. But I mean, even at that, they would need a mad amount of goals now. So there's just absolutely no way. I know they couldn't go out, but they can't even finish at the bottom of there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, it's so yeah, they would have to lose the game, which would put them on 11 points. Then Celtic would be on 11, which is so they'd be on the same points as Celtic.
9 and 3 is 12.
Yeah, but no, it's because right now it's calculated as a draw.
Oh, so they've already added the one for the draw, so you're adding 2 to that with you. Got it. That's because it tells you it's live. But yeah, I forgot to carry the one, Ash. There you look at this. Aston Villa are 1-4 to beat Salzburg. slight favourites.
Bloody
But
hell.
yes, we will keep an eye on those as the evening is going along.
They are shit.
However, in the other European football, let's go back. And I saw Paige, didn't I? Paige is in the house. Jojo, apologies. You meant in the Premier League. I mean, in the Premier League, yeah, it's quite possible they are going to go down because honestly, I just in my head, I know it's probably so unlikely. I just keep cheering Wolves off.
Although you say that, but have you not just seen who they just bought?
I did see. Have I got this on my X? I wonder. I bookmarked some stuff, and I did see it.
Which, do you know what? That really, really surprises me from Wolves that they would do that. Because
I see you say it, I find it. I've got it. Now you talk us through it, and I'll try not to talk over you. I'll do my best.
Yeah, well, it's just the Strand Larson, obviously, was someone that we were looking for. He's only had one goal this season, which thought his stocks would go down quite a bit. We put a bid in for him for 55 million in the summer, so they're looking like an absolute donuts now because they've just missed out on money. But yeah, obviously Mateta's going. Strand Larson, I think he's better. I think he is better than what his goal output has been. I think he is probably been a bit annoyed because he didn't get the move to Newcastle because he really wanted it. And he was one of those players that was part of like the Mark Gaheys that that carried on doing the preseason and everything. They didn't go on strike and anything, and then didn't get the move. He was part of that like sort of a few players that didn't get that, whereas like Wissa, Isak went on strike and got their move. So I think he was quite annoyed about that.
Yeah, which you would be because you're essentially rewarding the bad behaviour and making the guy who did what you asked to like stay against as well.
The only thing that is a bit mad to me about this deal is, so they're selling Mateta, I think, for 40 million pounds off the top of my head. So actually for less than what they're buying Strand Larson. And if I had to save Mateta or Strand Larson, I would probably say Mateta is a better striker. So very strange bit of business.
Sachin was saying like Larson wasn't even starting. And so for me, 45 million plus 5 in add-ons. So, but let's just say base 45 million for a player that wasn't even starting from a team that's likely going to be relegated just seems a lot. I know players are just all expensive these days. Everything's expensive these days. Bloody milk is expensive these days. But it feels like a lot of money, Ash.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's very much a surprise to me. So, but it is what it is. This is still
definitely. It is. Sachin's saying a good deal for us. Absolutely. Because if they go down, they're going down with that money. They're going to be straight back up.
Yeah, you would like to think that it gives them the ability to reinvest in low Premier League, high championship squad. So, but yeah, I mean, it just in some ways I'm quite happy that we ended up not getting him, I guess. But I still think he's a good player personally. It's just been a very much struggling Wolves team.
Yeah. To be fair, and just behind the dugouts, Kai's with us, everybody. Make sure we all say hello to behind the dugouts. And let's go back and see that. I actually kind of like sometimes we don't have a plan because we can literally just jump to whatever we feel like. So let's go back to the Champions League. We'll go out of it again in a minute. But where were we? We got Spurs, Liverpool, 6-0. 6 is a plus, like look at the plus 2 goals. They literally couldn't list them because they ran out of that.
Yes, I did see Salah's free kick actually in this game. It was a good free kick. So I was surprised Salah scored. That was a surprise one to me. But
6 is a lot of goals. I know it's Carabag. I know that, but as we spoke about earlier,
Lou, I am praying. I am praying that we get Carabag. We have the option of it being Carabag or Monaco. Both I would like to say we're going to win, but if we get Carabag, I am going to be over the moon. An Azerbaijan team, who knows? I might even be trying to get an away ticket for that.
But to be fair, Ash, and I'm just like putting it out there, we said earlier, upsets can happen.
Don't do
but
it.
we said upsets can happen. You said upsets can happen.
True.
Kairat got 2 goals against Arsenal.
The thing is,
didn't predict 6-0. That's crazy.
I would agree. But the thing is, it's obviously a 2-leg, so it'll be home and away. So if it was a one-off game, yeah, I'd be a bit more scared. But if we've got to play carry a bag at home and away, I would definitely say there should not be an upset. If there is, then pitchforks are out.
No, to be fair, I think yous would beat them. But I mean, I didn't predict. Liverpool have been dreadful. And I know they're a much better team overall than Qarabag. But I mean, they struggled with Burnley. I didn't see, if you had said to me Arsenal would beat Kairat 6-0, I'd have been like, all right, maybe. They scored 3-2. Liverpool beating anybody, I don't care who it is, 6-0. 6 goals is a lot of goals. When you look at their form, when you look at their season, when you look at how everything's going, 6 is a lot of goals. Do you think it means anything? I can tell by your face, you're not convinced by this.
It's not that I'm not convinced. I'm just kind of depressed, to be honest, because I'm thinking about what happened last time a team scored 6 goals. It was Wolves. Wolves in the FA Cup scored 6 goals. And then what happened? We played them the next game. What's happened? Liverpool have scored 6 goals. And what's happening, Lou? We're playing them next.
Ash, are you actually? I didn't even know that.
Away at Anfield.
Ash, how do you do that?
This is why I'm not that happy, because this stuff just keeps on happening to us. We had
only play teams who win 6-0?
Bear in mind what happened before the Man City game. They scored 10-1 against Exeter. We're at the moment, we're just going against teams that are completely out of form. The games before they play us, they either change the manager or they just decide to pick up form. And then what happens? We get spanked.
Right. So Wolves went and won. It was 6-1 they won, wasn't it? 6-1 Wolves won.
Wolves was 6-1, yeah.
And then you had to play them. Yeah. And then City won 10-1. And you had to play them. And now Liverpool have won 6-0 and you have to play them.
Yep.
Ash, it feels like somebody might have put a curse on Newcastle because honestly that's insane.
And then we get referees that just do the decisions that they're doing. Genuinely, I'm convinced someone's done some voodoo magic. Is it the Man U one?
Brother or cousin
where someone pissed on the flipping goalpost or whatever. That's what's happened at St. James's Park. It's Mike Ashley, that little shit on the way out. That's what he did when he was taking down his stupid Sports Direct sign. He's been pissed on the Leazes end. Little rat.
That's made me laugh. I didn't realise that. I can't wait for predictions later. Sachin is saying it was a mismatch and it means nothing. Anfield is a myth. Forest trashed them there. So Sachin is having none of it. None of it whatsoever. Behind the dugouts is saying win 6-0 and we'll lose on the weekend. So there you go, Ash. A bit of positivity.
Please.
Kai has your back. But I just think 6 goals is a lot of goals when you're playing any team. No, let's not favourite them. Right. City Galatasaray 2-0. I'll be honest, I'm a little bit disappointed in Galatasaray. I thought there might be a bit more vim. I thought there might be a bit more I thought there might be a red card. I thought there was one yellow card in this whole match. I'm actually so disappointed in Galatasaray because Man City are a pack of crybabies. If they're even looked at funny, they roll around on the ground, right? So Galatasaray only got one yellow in this whole match tells me they weren't even trying. You couldn't have been, or you would have got more cards. So to me, they didn't even try.
Do you know what was really funny? Though I don't know if you saw this. It went around on Twitter. There was a picture of Dua Lipa at this stadium with a Galatasaray scarf on. And it wasn't real. I'm pretty sure it was AI. And it went completely viral. I saw it when I popped up there the next day. I was like, this morning or something, or last night. And I was just like, eh?
Dua Lipa, the Galatasaray fan.
No, I was so confused.
Just to let everyone know, all of the Europa League matches so far, 15 minutes in, every single one of them is 0-0 after 15 minutes. No early goals whatsoever in the Europa League. Where? I'm looking at them.
Refresh it. Stuttgart's 2-0. Celtics 2-0. Rangers is 1-0 up. Malmo's
All
1-0
of mine,
up.
right. I'm going to show you. Look, all of mine say
if you
0.
SofaScore doesn't automatically update. FootMob does for this, so you've got to
No, it
refresh.
should update. Once it's live, it should.
Nah.
Oh, goodness me. Oh,
yeah,
and there's a VAR check rumor. Red card.
Yeah,
this is much more exciting.
Yes, SofaScore for some reason never automatically updates, but FootMob does.
That's a bit irritating. Right, let me open it on FootMob because I want to see if goals go in so I can tell you. And what's the point if I'm not seeing them? Europa League. And what I'm going to do is zoom. No, not in, out so I can see them. And right. Ash, what do I need to do here? Is this just the live score? I don't need to do anything. It will just change.
Yeah, that will automatically update.
Excellent news. Okay, so well, I'll leave that one on and I'll get rid of this one so I don't get mixed up. But yeah, there was a red card there for Roma and a VAR check. I'm assuming for the red card. But let's go back. I'm so easily distracted. Right, back to City. Yeah, I was disappointed with Galatasaray. City got the goals. Erling Haaland scoring. Ryan Cherki scoring. Cherki, I dislike him so much because of the stuff he says about United, but he's such a good player. He's such a good player. I just dislike him so much, though.
Do you know what? I rate players like that go to like a football club and they take on the derbies and the heritage. Like Bruno has a hatred for Sunderland as well, and I love that. Like it gets them like really in touch with the actual fans. Obviously, it probably means that he'll never ever go play for Man United, but it's a good thing for the fans.
His problem was,
granted, Man City have no fans,
but we beat his team previously. So we said this before he even joined them. He was talking about this. He's just a bit better. I don't like him. Don't like him at all. Chelsea Napoli. This was a great game. Really, really, really good game. As we can see here, Rasmus Højlund scored. When we did our pre-match live, I said that your match and this match were the two I would be watching because I thought they were the two most even matches. And as we can see, both Højlund and McTominay were on the pitch, which obviously gave me a bit of a vested interest in this one. But it started off with a penalty. There was so many penalties. Every match I go into, there was a penalty. So they just love handing out the penalties. Yous honestly should put in like an email or something because everyone else is getting them. But so obviously it started off 1-0 and then it went to 2-1. Like really.
Yeah, when I saw this pop
boom,
up,
boom.
Because obviously this was popping up whilst I was watching the Newcastle game.
Yeah.
And I thought it said Viagra scored. Like, I swear to God, when I saw this guy's name, I was like, who the hell is that?
Oh, dear.
I thought I was getting an advert.
That's so funny. You were like, what sites have I been on? Ash, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to read some of the chats.
Forrest has just scored, by the way.
Have they? Yay. Oh, look. Did you see how that just moved around real time? That was very good. I like that. Right. So where did Forrest go now? Here, I see them. Look at them go. Look at them go.
Although it just means that they can't get top 8, but
no, but I mean, even still, like they're so close.
But to be fair, the higher they finish in that, the better the draws will be for them. So
yeah, that's true too. But I mean,
Bologna just scored as well, as I'm looking.
Oh, look, literally as we're looking at it, they're moving. Do you know what I'll do? I'll leave that on the screen so people can see it as we're talking.
I can't see it.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, okay, there.
I'm so bad because honestly, I need you to do things like that. See, when I'm live by myself, I'd be like talking through things and I'm like saying, I talked through a whole match the other day, a full match. I didn't have it on the screen. I read out the lineups yesterday. I read out the lineups for all the teams. I read all the lineups for all of the Premier League teams. And at the end, I looked up and realized I wasn't showing it. I read it out. I wasn't showing it on the screen. I have to actually start looking at what I'm doing. I'm a disaster, absolute disaster. But everybody's flat out in the chat and I don't want to ignore people's chats. So what I want to do is get stuck into the chat and then we will come back and look at that a little bit more. So when we were talking about the transfer earlier, Sachin said, I would not count on Wolves reinvesting though, to be honest. The reason they're in a relegation battle is because of lack of investments. Very fair point. Very, very fair point. I suppose being a Manchester United fan, I am eternally hopeful.
I don't see them reinvesting anything this summer, to be honest, in this January. Like, because I thought that was to be fair for me.
Yeah.
We put in lots of bids for Strand Larson in summer. I think they were expecting us to put in to bring it up to like 65 million or something. Obviously, we stopped there. But in that period of us doing that, they then bought flipping Tulu Crocodile, which obviously I think was their idea for them to be their number 9 while Strand Larson goes. So yeah, so I think they already kind of had that plan. So it would just be the money there for summer.
It's just someone scored there. I saw movement. Somebody moved.
It's anyway, number 9. It's number 9. I can't say their name.
Thessalonica. Hold on, I'm on the wrong screen. I can't see it. It's too little. PAOK Thessaloniki. That's it. That's Greek. They have to be Greek. It's definitely Greek.
I don't think I've never heard that.
PAOK. Oh no, I know. See, in the bookies we would have referred to them as PAOK. I never knew that was actually the rest of their name, but I'm sure they're Greek.
Yeah, they are Greek.
With a name like that, they have to be. But Sachin also had a question. He said, is Bruno G available for the weekend game? Because his predictions, I think Sachin's a boy. Sorry if you're a girl. I'm going to say his unless I'm corrected. Predictions depend on that.
Yeah, he should be available for them. He was. I was kind of surprised that he didn't come on for the PSG game, to be honest. But
okay, maybe you're saving him.
Well, yeah, that's what it looks like to be. Which I'm not going to complain.
Behind the dugouts. Wait. They have Newcastle this weekend. I retract that statement. 2 wins on the bounce for Liverpool. And you know, behind the dugouts is a Chelsea fan, just so you know. Rob Allwood United is telling everybody to hit that like button. Flossie is saying, I think we could beat Liverpool. Flossie is feeling confident.
I mean, we have a chance.
Is a little bit upset. Dutchie is failing as per usual. Shake my head, Utrecht. So Paige is not feeling good about Utrecht. Where are they? Maybe that's the problem.
They're last.
Wow.
Comebacks on.
Oh dear. Wow. Oh, I shouldn't laugh. I'm not even in this competition. Oh dear. So we'll go back up here. That's bad. That's really terrible. Still 0-0 Aston Villa though. What else are we doing? Behind the dugouts. He doesn't know how to feel about Newcastle tonight. Bruno G, what a player. Literally just doesn't know. Kai doesn't know how he's feeling about you guys at the minute. Sachin is saying, Turkey 18 GA this season, having only started 18 games. That's unbelievable. That's really good.
Yeah, but do you know what? I agree, but they've just intentionally left out a massive part of that statement. Why only talk about the games he started in? Why not talk about the games he's been subbed on with? Because that obviously will make the stat look worse. Because like, imagine he's been subbed on for another 18 games, and it would be one every other game instead of it looking like that. But
this is, I'm assuming, all competitions, or would that just be
it will be. Yeah, no, that
18 GA still feels good when like he's playing with Erling Haaland. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if he's the main striker or anything.
Yeah, that's quite in the Prem. In the Prem, he's been involved in 18 games and he's got 9 GA, so it's one every other game in the Prem.
Yeah, that's quite good.
I'll have to get up his other stats, but yeah, I mean, to be fair, when I've seen him, he's looked impressive. To be fair,
Sachin is saying, where'd he go?
18 and 28.
He's been subbed on for about 10. So you're looking at about 28 games, give or take. About 28 games.
I mean,
18 GA. It's still quite good. As I said, when you're playing, it's different if he's the main striker. but he's not. He's playing with Erling Haaland. He's not expected to be. So I think when you're playing with someone like Haaland, 18 GA, I still think is quite good. I'd be delighted if my striker was getting that at this point, to be honest with you. So I do think, I'm assuming Sachin is a City fan. I don't even know. I'm assuming. But I'm not sure. So if I'm wrong, tell me. Sachin is saying, Sachin's on fire tonight. We love Sachin in the chat. Getting stuck in. That's what we like. Turkey is the next Kevin De Bruyne. Needs probably 2 years till he can play in Pep's midfield. What I would say to that is, in 2 years, I don't think it's going to be Pep's midfield. I think they're going to have a new manager.
I also don't think they're the same player at all. Like, Kevin De Bruyne is completely different to Ryan Cherky.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're very different players.
Yeah.
Ryan Cherky, I just don't think it's going to be Pep's midfield.
No. Well, you probably, but Ryan Cherky, to me, I think he's more like Phil Foden, to be honest. I would put them two players probably a bit more similar. They're a bit more flary. Bit more
flair.
Yeah.
De Bruyne is more steady, whereas Cherky's more flair. I would agree with that. Olanma is in the house. How lovely to see you, my friend. Who else? Sachin is saying the difference in quality between the Champions League and the Europa League is so big.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I agree with that.
That's the problem. You go. A lot of people talk about, even in the Champions League, the reason why it's so good is because all the Premier League teams are so good. But then obviously you've got in Paris, you've got in France, you've obviously got a few set teams, like whether it's Marseille, obviously PSG is the main one, Lyon or whatever. You have only a few massive teams. So then when you drop down and you go down to their fourth or fifth best team, it's quite a big drop off.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like the Premier League where it's closer and closer and closer and closer. It's not like that anywhere else. I don't think so. I think that it's very unique. Sachin, this was after the news that Bruno would be available for you guys. So Sachin has said, good, then I hope Newcastle win at. See?
Bro, it's all over the place. It's for the mind game, so we never know which way it's actually going to be.
And Flossie is saying she thought Behind the Dugouts was a nice guy. And Behind the Dugouts is feeling conflicted. So it's all going on tonight. What is happening? Sachin, I saw Sachin saying, what else? Sachin is saying no. Sachin is a Borough fan. Okay. Sachin's a Borough fan. Is just expressing
how is Middlesbrough doing? How is Middlesbrough doing? I just don't even know whether I presume
I think they're doing all right, because I think they're doing okay as far as I know. Obviously, they have the Carrick connection.
Yeah.
David Speaks Football is in the house. Hey guys, sorry I keep missing the show. Just a message to say Bruno is the best captain in the world. So David is speaking about the other Bruno. All the Brunos getting the praise in the house tonight. David, shame on you. We are the best live show on YouTube. Never mind that David Speaks Football guy. He's all right. He's all right, our David. Although Kai is having a good bit of a laugh on him.
I've just seen what Dave's just said there. Don't wind me up.
Oh, right. So for the people not following the chat, who Behind the Dugouts has asked, who's the better Bruno? Bruno G or Bruno F? David, whose head has just exploded, has said, don't wind me up, please, Behind the Dugouts. And I would also please request Behind the Dugouts not to wind David up, because what will happen is we'll have to clean his brain matter off a wall somewhere after his head combusts.
Yeah.
And because he will not cope.
and plus, Behind the Dugout, let's be honest, it's not even close. It's clearly Bruno Guimaraes.
I love that you and Flossie had the exact same instinct. Both of you just went Bruno G.
But I mean, It's true.
David's not coping. I mean, I think you're categorically wrong, actually. And me and David don't agree on much. We don't even agree on Bruno. But I think
I
you're
mean,
categorically wrong.
if I tell you stats like this, we have
I
not
don't
won it.
I don't
If
care about stats though. I care about what it looks like when I'm
yeah,
watching them
this
play.
is going to be telling you what it looks like. We have
No, it's
not won a
not. It's gonna
game.
tell me
We have not
numbers.
won a game. We have not won a game without Bruno Goalie in the team.
Do you know what that tells me? The rest of your players can't cope. That doesn't tell me that he's better than our Bruno. It tells me your Bruno, the rest of his team can't cope. They're over reliant on him.
If that proves how good he is, since he's got us into Champions League and won trophies for us. So
there's no such thing as a one-man team. Anyway, I'm not getting into it because you know how I feel about Bruno Fernandes, but I'm not having slander. I think he's an absolutely appalling captain, and I would sell him for 100 million if they're offering it. But I'm not going to have a nonsense now. Not having it.
But you see that's where I think that we disagree, because I wouldn't sell Bruno Goalie for 100 mil.
Yeah, but
and that tells me everything.
Million, no, it tells you that they're different ages. It tells you that they bring different things to the team. It tells you how I personally feel about Bruno as a captain, because he's not going to have the captaincy taken off him. It tells there's a whole backstory. Now, I'm reading David's out because it might calm him down a wee bit, but I think this might be a wee bit far. Bruno G couldn't wear Bruno's socks from 4 years ago. Now, I think that's probably a wee bit. David, he's lost it. He's behind the dugouts, has started mayhem, absolute mayhem on the show. David's lost his mind. David is saying, I wouldn't sell Bruno for 150 million, same way I wouldn't have sold Paul Scholes. I wouldn't have sold Paul Scholes, ever. Even though he's a bad pundit now, I would never have sold him. Actually, of all the jerseys I have a jersey with Paul Scholes on the back. I normally don't get names. I don't get names on the back. I just get the jersey itself. But when he came out of retirement, I got his name on the back of a jersey, one of the AIG jerseys. Absolutely love it. And see, this is what I mean. Now David's you've lost your mind. David's lost his mind. This is why we need women talking about football, because you men are so emotional. You all just lose your mind. Yeah. Johnny is in the house. Sorry, I'm going to back up here, right? Yous are all losing it. Behind the dugouts is stirring the pot. You and Flossie are ready to kill David. David's ready to kill me, but Johnny's got it. Johnny is saying, I once agreed with you, Lou, on selling Bruno, but I fully disagree with it now because I don't want Ineos to have 100 million. I think if you're going to make an argument, that's a pretty good one. Guess is...
By the way...
Guess is going to use this banner.
By the way, you know how you showed the odds?
1-0.
Yeah, you showed the odds of the Villa Salzburg, and now they're down.
They were 1-4. And they're 1-0 down.
I mean, it's only 33 minutes in, but interesting, isn't it?
But you don't want to go down.
Yeah.
Ooh, who's Unai Emery going to push today? Absolute lunatic. That's mental. I still can't get over that. Sachin is saying, Bruno G is the metronome and the primary creative force. He's such a good player who'd be more recognised if he played for a title-winning team. I agree with that. I think all players are more recognised when they play for a successful team. Flossie is saying, nobody would, David. Nobody's wearing socks from 4 years ago because they're stinky. Johnny also said it's going to be good seeing Mbeumo, Cunha and Ahmad on Champions League nights next season. I love that positivity. I love it. Johnny is what we should all be like. Rob is going to get himself battered with a spanner here, and I don't know who's going to get to him first. Is it going to be Flossie or Guess? He could have 2 black eyes by the time we see him next, because he's going to have spanners bashed him everywhere. Theoretically, obviously, nobody's actually going to beat anybody up. Just to put that out there, because we are on the internet, and sometimes on the internet, people do strange things. This is, honestly, who needs a watch-along where you watch the match? I could do a watch-along just with this table, because every time it moves, I'm like, oh, it moved. Oh, who was it? Oh, it moved again. Yeah. Love it. Johnny has a question. Ash, would you ever consider a Bruno G. Ugarte swap deal? I mean, I know it's tough.
Of what? Of a shirt at the end of the game? Is that what we're talking about? I'm sure Bruno G actually probably Bruno G wouldn't even consider that. So
Oh, Flossie's having none of it. None of it at all. Lads, do you know what I forgot to do? Will you hit the like button, please? Please smash the like button. We're having a great owl laugh tonight. We're having good owl fun. Everybody's losing their mind. I love it. I just love it. Do you know what I have to say? Obviously, I want Manchester United to be in the Champions League. But what I will say is I enjoy watching the matches when there's no jeopardy for my team. So when I was watching those matches last night, I was literally just watching those matches because I'm not thinking, are they going to go above my team, below my team? How's that going to impact my team? It means nothing this season to me as a Manchester United fan. So I felt like I was actually able to watch the matches in a different way than I watched the Premier League matches because I had no vested interest whatsoever. And I was saying this actually before the show or before the matches, that while obviously I always want our rivals to lose, if City and Liverpool and Arsenal and everybody had just lost last night, I really would have laughed. I really would have laughed. But also, we need the coefficient. We need the English teams to do well in Europe because we need 5 teams to go to the Champions League next season. So the other part of me was like, please, please, please do well. Please continue in this competition. Also, I'm looking at the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool who are going to be fighting us for, 4th and 5th. And I'm going, I need you to kind of concentrate on another competition. Same as Newcastle. I need you to go as far as humanly possible in this competition. Because the longer you're in that competition, the longer we're the only team that's focusing only on the Premier League. So it's actually, the better you do, the better for us. Yeah. So I was like, while I wouldn't have cried if those teams had lost, I also was a little bit like, I need them to win. So it was very interesting. I didn't know how I was a bit like Kai. I didn't know how I felt at all last night. Kai is saying, not a swap, but would you purchase him for a packet of crisps and a Coke?
What flavour are we talking about here? And it has to be Coke. It has to be Coke Zero if you do it because
Ash, Coke Zero.
No, it's because I get like stomach acid.
Ash,
I can't have full fat Coke.
You can't have Coke. Flossie can't have a toffee. What is the world coming to? Honest to goodness me, the world has gone mad. Right, Ash, what else have we got on the agenda today? Because honestly, I don't even know what we're doing anymore. Right, we got as far as Chelsea. We talked about Chelsea. Actually, but yeah, Chelsea won that match 3-2. We took the long way around, but they've won the match 3-2. And it's another win for Liam Rosenio, the new coach. What do we think? I said the other day, so we had Behind the Dugouts on the channel with me the other day. He was a special guest appearance. And I said that I really like Liam Rosenio. He's not what I thought they needed at all. In fact, he's the complete opposite of what I thought they needed. But I really like him. I've taken a bit of a shine to him.
He's, I guess, of course, I think when you have an English manager who can speak well, it helps. But yeah. I don't think my viewpoint's going to change for a while. I think he's good for Chelsea in the way that their system's currently set up, that they're buying young players to probably sell them on for a profit. I don't think they're going to be challenging for UCL or the Premier League with him. But I think that's more on the ownership. So I think he's a good manager, but he's not at the level of Pep.
But at one point, Pep wasn't at the level of Pep. And so I don't know if you were on this stream, but I did a poll a little while ago on a live stream. And I said, would you hire a manager who has been sacked by another Premier League team? Everybody said no. Definitely not.
Well, of course you would.
But everybody said no. Everybody said it. I definitely wouldn't. So based on that, and I mean, not one person said yes, but nobody said yes, Ash. Not one single person in the stream said yes. Everybody said no.
That's crazy.
So my thing then was, well, if you wouldn't take a manager who has been sacked by another Premier League team, and you wouldn't take a manager who's unknown, who would you take? because everybody can't get the same manager, and there's only so many unbelievable managers in the world. Most of them already have jobs. Some of them don't want to manage in the Premier League. So at some point, if you don't want to take a manager that's been with somebody else, you're going to have to take somebody who's a little bit unknown. At some point, the manager pool is going to dry up, and we're going to need to take in people that are unknown quantities as such. Yeah. So I don't think you can say, well, because he's not currently the best manager ever, unbelievable, he's never going to be a really good manager. Do you know what I mean? I know as yet unknown, but I think so far, I think he's very assertive. I think he's very proactive on the sideline. He's definitely not overawed by the job or by the players or by the media. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be a resounding success, but I've been more impressed by him than I expected to be. He's very, very self-assured. And I think that kind of aura thing, not everybody has it. Not everybody has the aura. And I do think he has a touch of it. I don't know. I just, do you know when you just get a vibe from someone?
No, I think he gives out the vibe. I understand what you're saying, and of course, it's a possibility. Like I said, the only reason why I've said I don't think he's going to be able to do the Premier League or the UCL, like I said, it wasn't because of him as a manager. It's more because of the ownership and the way that they've set up their structure of buying young players. Because you need experience to be able to win trophies and stuff. And if their plan is just buying 18 to 22-year-olds and then selling them when they get into the peak of the powers, they're never going to be able to challenge that. And I would think the same even if Pep went there. I would be saying, yeah, you've got an absolute world-class coach, but if you're not going to be able to have a structure or a system built around to bring the best out of him, then of course that's going to be a problem. So that's why I'm more say no to Liam Rosenior, because I don't think he's going to do it because of Blueco and the owners. So
he might do it in spite of them. No, like that. I'm not saying, oh my God, he's going to do it. Yeah. But I feel more hopeful than like some Chelsea fans about him. And obviously I hope he does dreadful. I want them to suffer as much as we are. But I mean, I just get good vibes off him. But maybe that's the trauma of being a United fan. Someone comes in with a bit about them and you're like, yeah, unreal.
When he goes, you're not allowed to wear gloves so we can hear you clap. You've got to wash your hands. I just think that's so.
Those things matter. Like, and again, maybe it's my HR thing. Those things matter. See, this marginal gains. I know everyone says it like in the sort of take the pee out of it a little bit. I love, not that I love it. It's so important. See, when you've studied it and you've literally watched it in action, when you can, like, first of all, obviously, I've worked in HR for years. Other than that, I'm also a trained psychotherapist. So when I look at like behavioral things, when I look at mental things, when I look at all of this is my jam. I love this. I love it. I could sit and talk about this on a 24-hour stream and I wouldn't get bored. Everyone else would be falling asleep and I'd be like, this is so interesting. But I can understand a lot of my interest in it is from my own personal background. It's not necessarily based on my enjoyment of football. But Flossie is saying, I think a lot of the criticism of him has been over the top. He's only just in the job. And I think that's fair as well. I think people are judging him before he was even here rather than waiting to see, which, look, we all do. Sachin is saying, Pep was, however, a very good manager for Barca B. There's a reason he was fast-tracked when they could have gotten anybody in the world. And that's totally fair, because not everybody could have done what Pep has done either. Do you know what I mean? There's a whole different level of pressure to the kind of roles that Pep has taken on. It's more just as an example. Sometimes people do come in as an unknown quantity and do really, really well. Not always. I mean, we've gone through quite a few of the ones that haven't, but it's, behind the dugouts, I've sent my CV to United, still waiting to hear back. If you're out and let me know, I could be assistant coach. I'll bring a bit of the Roy Keanes about the place. I'll throw some football boots. Sachin is saying, I vaguely remember being so much hype around Pep's appointment at Barca. Behind the dugouts is saying, agreeing with you, Ash. 100% the structure needs a change to support him. Sachin is saying Rosenio looks promising, but early days. That's probably where I'm at. It's early days. I wouldn't get crazy, but I do think he looks promising. Sachin is also saying, same way, I don't understand the hype around Carrick after 2 games. Give it a bit of time. I think there's 2 things in relation to Carrick. There's probably 3. The first thing is we already like him because he's an ex-player, a very, very good, talented ex-player. So we already have an affinity with him before he's come anywhere near the job. The second thing is it took 35 matches for Amram to get back-to-back wins. Carrick has come in and done it against Arsenal and City. So I think it's not just the 2 games, it's the specific games they were. And I think it's following what came before that I think is really giving it a lift. And I think, third of all, the United fans in general have absolutely no sense whatsoever. We're a glutton for punishment. I can see what's happening, and I'm still like, I wasn't even excited for Carrick. I wanted Ollie. I was devastated we were getting Carrick. And even I am like, give him the job. Just give it to him. I wouldn't give him the job. I would, however, let him interview for it in the summer if he continues this form.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think United fans have been so devastated. Any sort of joy, we're like, yes, give it to us. And we do completely run with it. What is behind the dugouts is saying he gives out Lego. Now that's a manager I can get behind. Off the Lego Senyo. Love it, love it. But what else? What else? So yeah, it was a good win. They've done well. Watching brief, but so far so good for him. Obviously, then, we did already speak about your match with PSG. You've got a draw, and we move on. Yeah, anything else you would like to add to any of those?
No. It depends on what you want to go on with the Champions League. If you want to have a look at the draw itself.
Yeah, well, we can dip into that, definitely. Right, let me read these last 2 from Sachin because they're related to what we were just talking about, and then we'll look at the draw. That's a good idea, Ash. So Sachin is saying, I hear that Carrick is a good tactician, but in my opinion, not that great of a manager. Maybe he has learned, but we will see. And I suppose as a Borough fan, Sachin is absolutely qualified to have an opinion on Michael Carrick because he has in fact managed your team. So that is fair. I guess having 1 game per week helps too. Absolutely.
I mean,
Johnny will not accept Michael's slander.
so the thing is, so I guess the one counterpoint that you can have towards what Sachin said about, say, obviously with him managing Middlesbrough, it's kind of the same sort of thing that Pep got. That was like he's only managed the best team and the best players. Some managers, they can manage the better. They set up in a system that brings the best out of the best players, and sometimes worst players can't do what is asked of them. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, any sort of manager like this, Carrick, Rosinia, wait until the end of the season, see how it does. You'll be able to get much more of an idea. I don't think anyone should be jumping the gun on anyone. It's the same with what I said about people saying about Eddie Howe should be sacked. Absolutely not. He's not going anywhere. Don't flipping get off your high horse. It's only been a couple losses. It is what it is. Just stuff like this. Just take time and just see how it gets on. And then obviously, if he does carry on doing well, then I'm sure he'll probably have a very good chance of getting the permanent job for you guys.
Well, he'll definitely be interviewed, and if he's going to be cheaper than everyone else, which he will be, they will. He'll get it. He'll definitely get it. Right, Ash, the draw. Can you see that? Have I shared it properly? Excellente. You tell me, because we're not even in it. So you can talk about the fun stuff.
So the draw is obviously going to be tomorrow. To go through the actual who's in who. Oh, so you've got the Europa League.
Oh, have I clicked the Europa League? Have I?
I'm pretty sure you have.
Oh, yes, I have, because that's why it says Europa League. Right, how do I go back? I mean, Champions League. Knockout. Okay. There we are.
So yeah, it's
That's a bit more like it.
So obviously you've got a few different places that we could be in. Basically, we're PSG and Newcastle. We're either going to be against Monaco or Carrier Bag, and then in the round of 16, it will be against either Barcelona or Chelsea, which is interesting.
Ooh.
And then, yeah, I know it's going to be. That's why I'm quite looking forward to this actually, because
Barcelona, Chelsea. That's going to be interesting.
We had Barcelona at home,
yeah,
and the game was 2-1. We actually probably should have won it. It was the one that Fabian Schär had that concussion and was seeing eight different people. Which, but to be fair, we were at a bad time in our of where we were in our squad at the time. But we exposed quite a lot of things about Barcelona. Like, we should have easily have won that game. So to me, I'm actually not that worried if we get Barcelona or Chelsea. Like, I think I'm not saying it's a guaranteed win, but I'd say it's a potential that we could get through that game. Okay. So yeah,
Sachin is saying he would be very scared of Barca. They look scary.
Nah,
he also said he's predicting City Madrid. It's going to be just City Madrid.
So this is the other thing. So obviously the side of our draw that we've got is, so say if we manage to beat Barcelona or Chelsea, we'll then get probably either Spurs or Liverpool, unless if Juventus beats maybe Spurs. But even then's a potentially a winnable fixture. So if we get lucky and say Spurs, obviously the Liverpool one would be much more difficult.
Well, it depends when Liverpool turns up. The one that played Burnley or the one that played Karabag.
Exactly. So but I personally think there's a very good chance we could go a bit deeper in the Champions League, which would be great to see. But yeah, no, I think if you look at it, because obviously there's a lot of English teams, so we're going to be playing one more than likely at some point. So like I said, it'll be good to see. It'll be good to see how this goes.
Yeah, I think it'll be good. It'll be interesting. But to be fair, it is. We spoke before. Was it the FA Cup we were talking about? And we're like, don't count people out. And then it happened exactly the way people were predicting. Johnny would like to let everyone know he will be supporting Karabag for the rest of the Champions League camp.
Wow, I don't appreciate that because we might be playing them next.
Well, that will make it for an interesting stream. Right. So what we'll do, we'll put this back to the Europa League so I can keep an eye on the scores. Has anything happened? No, Aston Villa are still losing. Forest are 2-0 up now, so that's looking good for Forest. That's pretty decent. I'll keep that running on that screen. I'll get rid of this. I'll get rid of this. And then I think, Ash, it might be Premier League prediction time. Woo-hoo! So, let me read. What did Sachin say there? I also assume PSG versus Chelsea and Barca versus PSG. Oh, because Barca PSG were too early. So PSG Chelsea would be better for kind of audiences and stuff. Because obviously these are not random at all. Nobody will ever convince me these are random. Nobody.
Well, the thing is, so if it's PSG if it's PSG Chelsea, that means it would be Newcastle Barca.
Yeah.
Which like I said, to be fair, that's what I'm saying. Is I actually think there's actually really good games that are going to be in like the round of 16. Like it's going to be crazy. Like you could have the likes of PSG Barcelona. Like it's crazy some of the potential games that could be on there.
Well, I have to say, and that's what I mean. The fact, obviously, I always want United to be in the competition, but if they're not, the silver lining is I get to watch these like unbelievable matches and literally just enjoy them. Just enjoy the football, enjoy the matchups.
It's like so for the round of 16, you could see Dortmund Bayern Munich. That's obviously banging derby. You could have Real Madrid Man City. You could have
that would be good.
You could have PSG Barcelona. Like you could have Liverpool Juventus. It's like the potential the potential draws in the round of 16 are like
Crazy.
Final level. So yeah, so it's great, good to see.
Behind You Guys has a comment that's an actual question and not just taking the mickey out of you, Ash. Would you like to answer this one? Do you guys think this format is better for the Champions League?
Absolutely. I think it's not even just better for the Champions League. I think it's better for everyone. For viewers, you get to see more games. They're going around playing all different level of competition. And plus, it actually brings out the best of where teams are. Because, say, when we were in the Champions League last time, obviously we had like the group of death that we had PSG, Dortmund, and AC Milan. Obviously, PSG went to the finals. Dortmund went to the semi-finals. So it allows, like, say, the Premier League, who's all 6 teams, will probably end up finishing at the top because they're the best. I think it just means that the best teams are most likely to go through, which I think is how it should be.
Fairer. It feels fairer because what happened the other way was you were losing teams that were better than some of the teams that were getting through, just depending on how the draw was and the groups were. So I think this is a much better format. I think it's far better. And I know a lot of people were very, very skeptical, but I actually think it's been far better. And like, if you look at the matchups that we're getting, the potential matchups that we could be getting because of it, I think it's far better. Definitely.
Yeah. The only one caveat that I would have, last night was absolutely depressing because all the good games was on and I couldn't watch any of them but Newcastle. Yeah. So that's the only thing that's annoying with not having group.
It's a pity that they couldn't play them like.
But I understand why they're doing it, because it's the same as the last day of the Premier League and stuff. They've all got to play at the same time to avoid match fixing and stuff like that. So
that and like knowing, okay,
well, I tell you what, flipping that referee for us was trying his best to match fixing. Oh no,
maybe he's just really bad at his job.
The thing is that, like, I was looking up like what he's refereed, and he's only refereed in like the Champions League, World Cup qualifiers. Like he's not refereed a game in a month. So that was his first game he's refereed in a month, and I was like, come on, man, we've got to be doing a bit better than this for a game of like PSG Newcastle.
Maybe that guy, the new Premier League referee, could have been given a go. He seems quite good.
Honestly, do you know what? Just put him on the ball boys. They would have done a better refereeing job than that. Because, God. Oh, by the way, did you see the thing that's come out about AFCON, actually?
No.
So the FA from the AFCON, they've
fined all the sanctions, all the fines.
Yeah, they've fined like the ball boys or something. They fined the ball boys. Yeah, because
the towel from the goalkeeper. Yeah,
I think it was like £100,000 fine or something for the ball boys. It's crazy.
I saw the manager got a fine and a 5-match ban. I saw Ismail Assar, he got a fine, and there was another player that got a fine whose name is escaping me. But yeah, I was reading it today and I thought, you know what? Fair enough.
They need to keep on doing punishments because they can't allow that to happen again. It was ridiculous.
It was embarrassing. It was really embarrassing for them. Sachin said, yes, this format is better, but the drawback is the injuries. I wish teams went for bigger squads with more rotations, and that might be a tweak they make to it, that they'll allow that going forward, because I agree. Obviously, there is going to be more injuries, which is obviously a downside. I think the format itself is far better. But I completely agree. I see especially Premier League teams ravaged by the time knockouts come on. I also think, and I've been banging on about this all season, we had 3 international breaks within the first 3 months of the season. Those players are travelling on top of playing. They're then playing under different conditions, some of them in different climates. They're different training methods, because obviously they're working with different managers. They're not breaks for them. They're breaks for us. They're not breaks for them. There's actually more work for them. So while I agree with what you're saying about the new Champions League format, I don't think it's just the Champions League format that's causing that. I think it's just scheduling as a whole. I think while they're different competitions and different bodies, I think all of these competitions, whoever's in charge of them, the head of each competition needs to sit in a room and be like, right, lads, what are we going to do? Because we're damaging our own competitions by not organising this better.
Yeah, I think it's one good thing, I guess you could say, is that they have made a different approach, obviously, to the Champions League. And next season, instead of 3 international breaks, there's only going to be 2. So I guess they are trying to do some sort of things towards it. So
it's a step in the right direction.
yeah.
That's as much as I'm willing to give them at the moment, but it's a step in the right direction. Now, Ash, chat, people, it is predictor time. Woo, woo, woo. The exciting time. Ash, you don't look excited about this at all. I am thoroughly looking forward to this. Now, let me get myself onto the right window. Ash, we're going to open with Brighton and Everton, which doesn't sound exciting in the slightest. And let's not forget, Everton do have, what's his name, Jack Grealish out injured, but that didn't stop them taking points off Leeds. It was a draw between them, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So what do you think? Brighton and Everton. Rob has gone early. Rob is saying 1-1. Sachin is saying 2-0 Everton. Has no faith in Brighton whatsoever. I don't think Brighton have been that good this season, but I don't think Everton are that good either. What do we think, folks? Get your scores in the chat. I bet you we've timed these predictions for while Flossie's walking the dogs. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, she normally goes like 8:30, doesn't she? She's been out for about half.
So let me see. Let me put it in the chat so she knows we're doing it, because I reckon she is walking the doggos. Give me one little minute while you're having a think there. You talk about your score prediction while I message Flossie.
It's a difficult one. I don't.
There she is. She heard us.
I don't think it. They've not both. They both haven't had a great season that I don't think they were looking for. I think it's going to be a 1-1. I think it's Everton seems to be getting like 1 goal a game or something. Brighton have looked better previously, but I can just see it being just like a 1-1, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be very exciting. Flossie is here. She's here. She's been listening. She says she reckons 1-0 to Brighton. Alanma is saying 2-1 to Brighton. So we have a draw in Everton and 2 for Brighton. I would have said, you reckon a draw. I would have said, I think it's going to be dross. I think it's going to be 1-1, 1-0 dross.
Yeah.
I would probably lean towards 1-1 just because I think they're both bad. It could be 0-0. It could be another 0-0. The record-breaking season for 0-0s. Yeah, but I think a draw. I think
I know. I don't see this one being a crazy one, to be honest.
No. So what's that with me? 2 draws, 1 Everton, 2 Brightons, and you said a draw as well, Ash, didn't you?
Yeah.
That brings us to 3 draws. Sachin says Everton have been looking good and they have players coming back from injuries. That's the reason for the 2-0 prediction to Everton. And to be fair, you could be totally right. Streets isn't in the house. Who is going to predict the Manchester United result?
I mean,
see, it's Thursday instead of Friday today.
I don't know if I fully agree. So they went 1-1 to Wolves, 1-1 to Sunderland. They beat Villa 1-0, to be fair. And then they had 1-1 to Leeds. It's a lot of 1-1s that they've had. And a lot of them 1-1s are sort of relegation battle teams, I would say.
Sachin did say that they have players coming back from injuries as well, though. I don't know who they are. I've put 1-1 because the draw seems to be more or less, low scoring draw, seems to be more or less the consensus.
Yeah.
So we'll go with it. Sachin is saying Leeds are a good team, which I agree with, and Wolves are picking up form, which I also agree with, to be fair. But we're on the next match, which does include Leeds versus Arsenal. Now, remember what I said earlier. I think Arsenal draw, loss, and then Craic scored 2 against them in the Champions League. So I think this match, because Leeds are a good team, they're competitive, they're physical, Dominic Calvert-Lewin's having a good time, and I do think this match could be telling about Arsenal. Is it a blip, or is it actually they're starting to struggle? I think this match could be the one that tells us how serious this drop-off is.
It's actually 3 p.m. It's just an hour different because it's the website.
The website is on a different time zone than us, so these are the 3 p.m. games.
Yeah, so anything you see here, take off an hour.
I made that mistake when we first come on it, though, as well, to be fair. So Rob is saying 2-2. Flossie is saying 2-1 Leeds. Ooh, I like it. I like it a lot. I think this is going to be a hard game.
I'm going to say 2-1 Leeds as well.
You say 2-1 Leeds as well. Do you know what? I think I've convinced myself on a Leeds win. Do you know that? I think I'm going to go 2-1. Do you know?
Leeds does concede a lot. I do. Watch is going to be like 5-0 Arsenal or something.
Imagine. Sachin has a good point. Sachin's saying, why could they not do a nighttime kickoff for this? Now, obviously, the evening game on the Saturday is Liverpool-Newcastle, which is fine. But if you look then, Sunday, United-Fulham, as much as I love United, I mean, maybe this one would be bigger, but definitely, say Monday evening. Sunderland and Burnley.
Yeah, that's the only fixture.
United because we have no European football. So United could have been moved to the Monday, and then you play Leeds Arsenal at our time, at the same time as Villa Brentford. It's not in the evening, but it's kind of, it would be the only big match on then at the 2 o'clock on the Sunday. So you could move us out and move Leeds Arsenal to 2 o'clock Sunday. There's nothing else to really watch there. Honestly, let me be in charge of the scheduling, because I would just delete everything and start over, because whoever's doing this is an embarrassment. They shouldn't be allowed to plan anything. I don't think they can plan a bus schedule. But anyway, so Rob said 2-2. Flossie said 2-1 Leeds. You said 2-1 Leeds. Olanma says 2-1 Arsenal. And I reckon...
Yeah, I do think it's going to be a 2. I say 2-1 Leeds, but I could see it being 2-1 Arsenal as well. I could
see it being 2-2. I think I could see it 2-2, because even if they draw, Arsenal are dropping another 2 points, because if they draw, and who are Villa? Villa are playing Brentford, City are playing Spurs. Both Villa and City could win there, but if Arsenal draw, you're looking at it going down to a 2-point gap at the top.
Yeah, and Arsenal's got to play at Man City.
Yeah. I reckon 2-2. I reckon goals, and I reckon maybe a draw. So I would go with 2-2. So me and Rob say 2-2. We've got 2 then for Leeds and 1 for Arsenal. And Sachin is saying, I think Leeds won't play expansive football, but the crowd is like having 3 people on. Oh, God, what? What's the results?
Salzburg's just scored.
2-0. Holy moly. Aston Villa are killing me here. That's not good.
They've gone down to 4th.
And all Freiburg's doing is drawing. That's really bad. See, they've gone down. The goal difference has killed them there. Because look, it's the points. It's a goal difference.
Yeah.
That's bad. Right. So what do we reckon, Ash? We've got 2 draws and 2 Leeds wins. So what do we think?
We'll say draw.
Draw. Right. So let's go 2-2, because me and Rob both said 2-2. So Wolves, Bournemouth. Wolves are picking up form. They're starting to pick up points. Ash, Don't tell me you're getting off the Wolves train already. You only got on it about 2 weeks ago.
They're just... I flip it was not on it because that's when they were playing us. Strand Larsen's just gone. Bournemouth just lost Semenyo. These are two teams that are... This is the championship level game.
Could be good fun.
And a championship level game normally has goals in it. So I'm going to come out and say 4-3 to Bournemouth.
For real, did you read Sachin's comment? Because Sachin also said 4-3 to Bournemouth.
Oh, wow. No, yeah.
That's insane. Flossie is saying a 1-1 draw. Rob is saying 2-1 Wolves. I genuinely have absolutely no clue. And that's being completely genuine. I absolutely haven't got a clue. Goals, other than that.
Bournemouth still does look like they've got something going for them. I think it could be a 4-2 or a 4-3.
Alanma is also saying 1-1. So we have 2 4-3s and 2 1-1s, which means I am going to have to make a decision.
And if you say a Wolves win, then it'll be another.
Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to decide, because we've 2 4-3s and 2 1-1s. So what I'm going to do is decide just between them two instead of confusing myself. And I think out of those two scores, I think the 4-3 is more likely. Not because I think a draw is quite likely, but I think more than 1-1. I think more goals. So I think if we're going to go with goals, I reckon then we go with, I think Wolves might win. I think they might win. But I do think there'll be goals. So we'll go with this. Now, we were talking about Arlie and Rosenio earlier on. Oh, hold on. What is Sachin saying? Sachin is saying Bournemouth games have goals in them. I think they have the highest goal involvement this season. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Yes, Gab, we're still here. We're doing our predictions. You're right on time. Chelsea, West Ham.
2-2.
Oh, 2-2. That's unexpected. That's not just... I don't know what score I thought you were going to say, but I didn't think you were going to say 2-2.
I think 2-2.
Are we back to predicting loads of goals again? Because last week we said we were going to calm down and everybody started scoring. So, so maybe we're the problem. Flossie is saying 3-0 to Chelsea. Gav is saying 4-1 to Chelsea. Sachin is saying 1-1.
The only reason I'm saying that is because obviously West Ham played Sunderland, and I was watching that game, and they looked unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like, Sunderland fans were literally leaving at 15 minutes, which is crazy, by the way. It's a 4-hour train down from Newcastle to go see that. So to leave at 15 minutes is madness.
That's not good. Rob is saying 2-1 Chelsea. So for the most part there, it seems to be Chelsea win.
Yeah.
I reckon if I was going, I would probably say 3-1 Chelsea. Because I think Chelsea will win. I have faith in Liam. I think he's doing well. I hope West Ham do beat them. I hope you are correct, because I need Chelsea to lose points to keep my team up there in the 4th and 5th spots. I also am going to need Liverpool to lose to you guys. So we just stay up there. Actually, what I probably need is Liverpool and Newcastle to draw, to be fair, is what I need. But in terms of this, what I think will happen is I think Chelsea will win. However, I will be delighted to be proven wrong. So we've got 3-0, 4-1, 2-1, 2-1. Alanma says 2-1. I probably would have said 3-1. So they've all got one, and they've all got Chelsea having a few. So let's go with that. Now, Ash, Liverpool, Newcastle. You can do this, Ash. I believe in you.
3-0 Liverpool.
What? Ash! Liverpool. Ash. What? No, I need you to explain this to me because I actually don't understand this prediction.
I keep on predicting our team to win and we fucking draw or lose. So I'm going to start doing some reverse psychology and hopefully it turns around to be the other way.
Flossie's going to batter you in the group chat. You're in trouble.
I'm going to do some reverse psychology.
Right. Okay. We'll go with that. So, Flossie, on the other hand, is saying 2-1 to Newcastle. Gav is saying 2-2. No, you're not. I'm not letting you explain yourself. It's too late. Sachin is saying, where did Sachin go? Sachin is saying 2-0 Newcastle if Bruno G plays. Otherwise, 2-1 Liverpool. So that's how important Sachin thinks Bruno G is. Given he was rested for this match, I reckon he'll play, which means Sachin's going 2-0 Newcastle. Rob Albridge United, 6-1 Liverpool with a Salah own goal. So Rob might also get... Flossie is going to be busy with the spanner. Sachin is saying Palace want to walk away from the Strand Larson deal. Well, that happened fast. Alanma is saying 2-1 Liverpool, but obviously Alanma is a Liverpool fan, so that's fair. Gav is saying Rob is after a timeout. And Gav is saying salad and water meter to score either side of Gordon and Gakpo. So Gav is reckoning 2-2. I reckon yous beat them, do you know?
I hope so.
Because Virgil van Dijk is appalling this season. And I mean appalling. I think they might score. She's not going to time him out. She's going to ban him. I think Liverpool have the ability to score. But I think overall this season, they've not been good. I think Virgil van Dijk has not been good. I don't think one goal for Salah means he's back.
No.
I think while they scored a lot of goals against Qarabag, I can't get past the Burnley match. They are the first Premier League champions ever to not win against all three of the newly promoted teams at home. The first ones ever. That's not a thing you want. Flosh really should have already been sacked and I feel like is constantly on the verge of being sacked, and the only reason he's not being spoken about more is because Thomas Frank is even closer to the edge of the cliff. So I think based on all of that, I think you beat them, but I think they'll score. So I reckon Newcastle 2-1 or 3-1. And I'm undecided between the two. So I'm going to go back to the chat, who is saying 2-1, 2-2, 2-0, 2. There's a lot of twos. So I reckon
I'm really
2-1.
worried about this game, to be honest.
Oh, well, I've predicted United to lose loads of games. So
our away record has just been absolutely atrocious this year.
Yeah, but Liverpool's whole record has been atrocious their entire season. So, like, even when they were winning games, their performances were terrible.
Yeah, I mean...
Who was it? Was it Sachin earlier said that the Anfield thing is a myth?
I agree. It's just the problem... Well, actually, I mean, the Anfield one wasn't a myth because there was, like... They had, like, 90 games unbeaten at home or something, which... I'm pretty sure they do you know actually what broke that unbeaten streak? I'm pretty sure it was Burnley. I'm pretty sure Burnley was actually the team that broke the unbeaten streak the other year.
Of course it would be Burnley.
Yeah, but look, I'm just worried because Ekitike is back in the team. Florian Wirtz is now actually starting to score and create chances.
That's true. He is.
They're the people that I'm worried about. If this was at home, I would definitely be predicting us to win. But like I said, I'm just really on the fence with this. I keep on predicting Newcastle to win. We end up drawing or losing. I predict Liverpool to win, and they end up drawing or losing. So what I'm going to do is predict Liverpool to win. So in that way,
it'll go the opposite. I mean, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. Sure. Which brings us to, like, to be fair, I actually need us to draw. But I think you will beat them. Villa Brentford. Given that Villa are currently losing 2-0 in the Europa League to a team that I thought they would beat, it's not great. Emery, for me, he's lost it.
The plot.
Yeah. See, once I saw him pushing, that was it. I thought he was done. But then they went on and did well in the match after that, and now they're doing terrible in this match. I can't cope. Now, Sachin is bringing up a good point. Sachin is saying 2-0 Villa. They should win this considering they are resting starters for this game. So they're resting some of their starters tonight for that match. So Flossie is saying 2-2. Rob is saying 3-2 Villa. Sachin is saying 2-0 Villa. So people are going draw Villa.
I wouldn't say they're massively resting either.
What is Gav saying? We are waiting on Gav and Olanma. Gav is saying 2-1 Brentford. Thing is, Brentford were doing really, really well, and then they fell off a bit the last few matches.
Yeah, they really did fall off.
They fell off. Yeah. Not when we predicted they would, but they have fell off.
Well, the thing is, right, if they lose this game, I think there's going to be a massive kickback and they're going to want to prove a point, to be fair. So I do think Villa's going to win this probably 2-0.
Okay, so you're going with Sachin. Okay, so that's the only score we've had twice. So let's go with that. If I was saying, I would maybe go 2-1 Villa. I think Brentford might score, but 2-0 is the most popular score. Now, many Manchester United fans feel this is actually the real test for Michael Carrick because our team has this ability to turn up in big matches. Even at our worst, Mohammed's in the house. Welcome, Mohammed. You're in time for the last few predictions. Good stuff. But we tend to turn up in the big matches against the big teams. And then when we play the likes of a Fulham, we capitulate. We don't know what to do with ourselves. So this is a real test for Michael Carrick to see, is he actually making a difference?
Yeah, I think this is a 3-1.
So you're going with Mama Flossie, 3-1 United. Rob is saying 4-2 United. Streets has turned up at the exact moment we are predicting the Manchester United score. We have been live, people, just to let everybody know who might be watching this on a playback. We have been live for 1 hour and 53 minutes. Streets has been nowhere to be seen. Nowhere. He was hiding in the street. We say Manchester United Fulham, and there he is. There he is, Vamosen. Well, you have some explaining to do, mister. We're going to buy you a watch for next Christmas. But we'll read out everybody's scores. But since Streets is on a correct score streak, we will in fact go with his score. Just woke up from an elite nap.
It's 9:30.
Disgraceful. Were you on the oil rig with Dave Boy?
If Villa's just scored.
Have scored. It is 2-1. We predicted them to beat Brentford anyway. So, let's go back to what people were saying, and then we will await Sleepy Streets to make his prediction. So, what were we saying? Because Mohammed joined us also in the middle of that. So Rob said 4-2 United. Flossie said 3-1 United. You said 3-1 United. Sachin said 2-0 to Fulham. Disgraceful. Gav said 5-1 to United. And what else? Flossie was letting us know Villa scored. Alanma said 2-1 United. Energy reloaded, and then perfect timing for the United game written in the stars. It was a little bit, to be fair. I cannot believe that's the moment you joined. And Streets says 3-1 United. For those that don't know, Streets correctly predicted that we would beat City. Then correctly predicted that we would beat Arsenal. And in the City one, he was on his ownio. He was the only one saying it. So, winner stays on. That means Streets is getting to pick the United score 3-1. And if he gets it wrong, we're all going to laugh at him. So, no, we want him to get it right. We want this to be correct. Actually, Streets, if you get 3 in a row correct, I'm going to ask you for the lotto numbers. We're all going to go out and do them. Sachin is saying Fulham are actually on form. It's not going to be an easy game. It's absolutely not going to be an easy game. Gav, I predicted a United win at City too. Did you? I'm pretty sure we all laughed at Streets because he was the only one who said we were going to beat City. I'm not sure. I might need to VAR review this. I'm going to VAR review this. I am going to check that. By the time we do the predictor next week, I'm going to VAR review that because I want to check that because we didn't laugh at you anywhere near as much if you were also predicting a win. But let's go with 3-1 Fulham. That will take 12 minutes. It's going to take longer than that. Have you seen how much me and Ash talk? I'm going to have to go through the whole video. But that leaves us with Forest, Crystal Palace. Forest, who are currently winning 3-0 in their Europa League game. And that's against Ferencváros. It was them that was playing Ferencváros, wasn't it? If I click this, will it tell me their match?
I can't see what you're looking at, but I presume so. But yeah, we'll do.
Sorry, I forgot you can't see this stuff, right? How do I see which match they're currently in?
There.
Today, Ferencváros. It's pretty close. But yeah, so they're currently winning 3-0. Palace are falling apart at the seams. In fact, I would suggest that Glasner is ripping them apart at the seams, to be quite honest with you, because
I'm convinced he's doing this on purpose.
I think he might be. I think he might be a bit angry. He might have sown the seeds of what do you call that? I've lost it. The word's gone. It'll come back to me. I'll be sitting there like pottering about the house, and I'll just like shout the word, and everything. So. Flossie did originally say 2-1 to Forest, but she's changed it to 2-0.
I was thinking 2-0 to Forest.
Sachin says 2-0 to Forest. Palace look done. So that's Flossie, you, and Sachin are saying 2-0 to Forest. Rob is saying 3-1 to Forest. Gav is saying Ferencváros. Okay, I'm not going to remember that, but I'll try. And Alanma is saying 2-1 to Forest. And obviously Gav likes to be different, is saying Palace 1, Forest with 2 R's 0. Oh, and Streets. I didn't even see Streets this one. I was like, where did he go? Streets says 2-1 to Forest. Streets, you guys predicted 2-2 Arsenal. Damn, oh, damn. Streets is catching up. Streets, this is what happens when you're not here on time. We need supervision. I love that. He's like, what has been happening before I got here? Oh dear, that's so funny. Was the nap that good, huh?
I can't even say anything because I said those results as well.
I know. I think you led the way on the 4-3, but it looks like most people are predicting, for the most part, a Forest win. I actually reckon with you and Flossie and Sachin, I think it's going to be 2-0. I think Forest have the wheels have come off altogether. Absolutely. Or Palace, it's done. So I think he's doing his best to get sacked, and I think the players are helping him. They want him gone. He wants to go. They're like, don't worry, boss. We'll help you out. We'll lose everything, so to just sack you. But what else? What else? Spurs, City.
3-1 Man City.
Yeah.
Spurs are at home, and they are shocking at home.
They're shocking, full stop. Although not in Europe.
Not
in Europe, just everywhere else. Yeah. I reckon I could go along with 3-1.
3-1, 1-1-5.
Yeah. So Streets is 3-1, Rob is 3-1, Sachin 2-1 Spurs. City never beat them.
Well,
interesting.
Listen, Villa never beat us, and what happened? We lost to Villa, so there you
Sachin,
go. This...
But I like that. I like that it's different, and I like that there's a reason to it. I like it. Flossie is saying 2-1 Spurs as well. So we've 2-2-1 Spurs. Ooh. Streets is saying we have a Sachin Bomba telling us about this record. So Flossie is on that train. So we have 2-2-1s, Ash. 2-3-1s. I'd be with the 3-1s. Streets is saying Spurs have no counter-attacking threat, though. Gav reckons 3-2 to Spurs. How is it happening? Spurs are actually... Right, so you said City and I said City.
Rob said City. Street said City.
Yeah. So it's 4-3. And Alanma said City. Okay, so it is City. Sachin is saying, I wonder will the stadium cheer for City, to be honest. It's going to be hilarious if it happens. I don't think so. I don't know, Sachin, if you have ever seen... There's a channel called Kate and Jimbo. Lovely Kate was in the chat with us earlier. They're Spurs fans. And they are at the end of their tether with Frank. But I don't think they would ever want their team to lose in order to get rid of him. I think some fan bases will have that, and I think it's a minority.
Do you know what? I'm actually... I would love to know now whether Spurs fans actually want Frank gone with what he's doing for them in the Champions League.
Well, I watched Kate and Jimbo's show earlier, and they were talking about this. And they were saying, even with what he's doing in Europe, while it's good, it's not enough to save him, because at the end of the day, they've already had a manager that did well in a kind of a cup competition and then finished 17th in the league. They don't need a repeat of that. At the end of the day, while they want to do well in Europe, the fact is the league is their bread and butter. They want to do well in the league. So if all he can promise is we'll do okay in Europe, that's not good enough. And given that
what if they win it?
Very patient, that would be wild. It would be very, very, very Spursy, to be honest.
It would.
Yeah, so Sachin is saying, I think they want Frank out irrespective of the Champions League results. And that was essentially what they were saying. They'd give him a pat on the back if he did well, but Gav is not coping well.
Okay.
I think Gav might have had a nap.
Yeah.
Because what's happening is Flossie had a little typo earlier. I've been reading the chat. Flossie had a little typo. And Gav feels like he needs to outdo Flossie's typos, or he's had the same kind of nap as Streets. But I think City will win. And City seem to have the majority of the vote, although there are a few Spurs outliers. I think City as well. And I think 3-1 seemed to be the one that I kept reading. Now, Sunderland, Burnley.
0-0. This is going to be a fucking dead game. But I am not even joking. This may actually be the least watched Premier League game the whole season.
Well, prior to last week's game week, we already had 17 0-0s.
Well, we're about to make it 18.
Last season, I think, was 16.
Villa's just scored.
Have they?
Yeah.
Woo! Let's see, where'd they go?
Tyrone Mings have just headed it.
Was it disallowed? Because it still says 2-1 here.
Click on it. I'm watching the game.
Oh, why? There it is, 2-2. There you go.
Yes, it's just happened.
So it took a little second. There we go. 2-2. How do they decide, Ash, which ones are red and which ones are green?
It's red if they're losing.
They who? Oh.
So.
Yeah, okay. Because I was like, well, it's Roma versus whoever. So I was like, how do they decide which team winning or losing?
They're away.
Yeah, they're only. It's okay. Let's move on. Maybe I need it. That wasn't good. That wasn't good at all. I just, you know, when your brain just is like, nope, not cooperating, not at all. Right. So, you reckon 0-0?
I genuinely, think this is going to be an absolute stinker of a game.
Sunderland are dropping off now. They are dropping off. Actually, they held their own while all their players were at AFCON. Now that their players are back, they're dropping off. Burnley stuck it to Liverpool, and it might be the highlight of their season. But
Granit Xhaka obviously wasn't able to play.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's back now.
Well, I said earlier there's no such thing as a one-man team. That might be the exception, because honestly, without them, they just look like they didn't exist anymore. Sachin says 2-0 to Sunderland, easiest prediction of my life. Rob says...
Also, Granit Xhaka is out. He's out until the end of February.
Well, see, then I would maybe predict Burnley 1-0, genuinely, because they were like, Sunderland were like a non-team without him.
So, do you know how crazy that's going to be? That the first team to beat Sunderland at home would be Burnley this season.
Oh, yeah, because Sunderland are the only team that are currently unbeaten at home now.
Which is kind of mad. Which is really bad to think.
It's crazy. So, Rob reckons 2-1 Sunderland. So, we have 2 for Sunderland so far. Gav reckons 2-1 Sunderland. Street says Burnley ain't getting away with a result this time. 3-1 to Mama Flossie's most hated club. That was detailed. Sachin says Burnley are not getting anything out of that game when bigger teams have not.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, Granit Xhaka is now not there. So
yeah,
yes, I would agree, but you've got to put context into it. Granit Xhaka was literally the biggest, the complete engine room to that team, and you saw against how bad they were.
2-1 to Burnley. So Alanma's the first one to predict Burnley to win, other than me. What else? Okay, so Gav is saying if Shakira is out, I'll go 1-1. Okay,
when you talk like that.
It's a good song. So I went Burnley and Alanma went Burnley. You went draw. Gav went draw. Everyone else went Sunderland. So we have to go with Sunderland. 2-1, 3-1, 2-1, 2-0. So we have 2 2-1s. So that means 2-1 because it's the score that was predicted the most. Are you ready, people? Hold on to your hats. I am about to press calculate. Now let's see. Manchester United are in 4th. And where are you? So you are in 9th. So once I push the button...
let me know.
Ooh. Yeah, every time. We stay in fourth, so I'm cool with that. The gap would close to 2 points if we were correct. And you guys would move up a spot. You would
sixth,
go above Liverpool. Sunderland would stay in 8th. They were in 8th. They've been in 8th. So they're sticking in it, even with our prediction.
Yeah.
This would be
they've got 8. They're starting to match the match in Derby.
Yeah. Well, they need to just get past Derby. But I mean, this is starting to Burnley, more or less, but this starting to build a gap here.
Yeah.
Forest, Crystal Palace. If we're right, obviously it's a prediction, but if we're right, Crystal Palace has to be the biggest drop-off ever. Like, that's insane, the drop-off.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it's understandable when you actually, like, give context to everything that's happened around that team. Like, the fact that, obviously, they've lost... They've lost Eze. They've lost Gahey. It's and then Glasner wants to go. They're selling Mateta. Like, this team is just like disbanded at this point.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I love how we never get these correct. Our predictions are almost always wrong. We very rarely get these correct. Okay, and everybody, even me. Like, we're all, Floss is like, that would look good. I agree. That would look good if we had any chance of it being right. Sachin is saying that would be squeaky bum time with only 2 ahead. That would be. That really would be. I thought people were being a wee bit dramatic, saying that Arsenal are going to bottle it. However, if either City or Villa win, that would close it. Because I can really see that being a draw with Arsenal and Leeds. Now, obviously, if Arsenal beat Leeds, it would be a little bit more, but I just don't see it. I think
people just think that the league's over far too soon.
Yeah.
And it's not bottling it. It's just you will lose games because of how the Premier League is. We dropped a 12-point lead back in the 90s, so it's not exactly out of the realms of possibility. So yeah, it's I agree with you. I think sometimes people get ahead of them. Look, that's part of the fun as well. Like what I was saying to you earlier about Michael Carrick. Sometimes part of the fun is the roller coaster, the high highs, the low lows. That is part of the fun of it. But I think you have to recognize the fact that it is mental. You can enjoy it once you don't believe it too much. You have to be aware that it's crazy, and then I think you can enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? But folks, we have been live for 2 hours and 12 minutes. You are all absolutely wonderful people. I do hope that you have all hit the like button. I do hope everybody is subscribed. And I do hope Streets is going to turn on his notification bells and switch it to all so he won't nap through the next stream. We will leave it there, folks. I will be back either tomorrow or Saturday. I'm not sure which day because I haven't decided yet and I'm tired. But I will be back with you at some point over the next 2 days. But do get your notification bells on so you'll know when that's going to be. On Sunday, I will be live 12 o'clock Sunday before the matches, and I will have yet another super secret surprise guest. Oh, I love it. I love it. For those that don't know, right, so we have a little bit of a group chat for a few of us. And that, we're mods and members on other channels. And so every time I have a super secret surprise guest, I put it into the chat. I tell everybody there's a surprise and I get more excited than everyone else. So definitely I'll be on either 7:30 tomorrow or at some point on Saturday. And then I will absolutely be on 12 o'clock on Sunday. Thank you all. We had such fun this evening, such a laugh, such a giggle. We'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Plenty of football this weekend. Have a good one, folks.